you out to sell products. We don't try to put you into, as someone else on Let's Roll said, into a psychological fetal tuck to sell products.
Yeah.
We don't want to soak you in more terror. The government's already doing that, and so is the media.
Right. Now, we heard from a very reliable source who heard from a very reliable source how much money Alex is pulling a year. Now, we're not going to give you the exact figure because...
Lots of zeros.
Yes, I mean, lots of zeros. And we're not going to release this figure until we can verify it. But let me just tell you, it's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that he's making off of selling fear to the public. Now, the big question is, how many people out there are making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars off of the New World Order? I'll tell you how much money we're making off of our products. Maybe for the entire year, a couple $1,000. Big deal. And that's just, we're paying for, after all of...
Well, if we wouldn't have had to spend $65 hours round trip on buses going to OKC. We would have flown first class.
Yeah. Think about it. Alex is making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars every year off of the New World Order. If that's okay with you, then so be it.
One of the emailers put it better. With all the advertising and the pay-per-view and everything you have to pay for on his site, and considering what the things cost, that should pay for his capital and overhead and then some.
Yeah.
Why does he have to continue pushing so hard?
Yeah, why is there
this hard sell hammer?
This huge disparity beyond that where it's all going into his pocket?
And somebody said we're trying to slow down his momentum as he's making these huge strides into the mainstream. He's making huge strides into the mainstream.
Yeah.
Where?
I've never seen Alex's name. Now, he talks all the time about the Washington Post and CNN, that they're attacking Hollywood movies, attacking him constantly. I've never seen his name ever in the mainstream media, and believe me,
He's got a few clips that he puts on his website and which he talks about on his show.
Yeah, but he needs all this money to continue his inroad into the mainstream. He isn't in the mainstream, folks, and he's not going to be in the mainstream. They don't want anything to do with them. So, look beyond this hype that he's given you. Now, let's touch again upon our biggest pet peeve, activism. We went out to Oklahoma City. Mm-hmm. We took out a whole bunch of books with us, and guess what we did with them? We gave them away. For free. We didn't make a penny.
And if you think it was fun lugging them around on every bus.
Yeah, we had suitcases filled with books, and we just gave away. Now, the big thing is, do you think we're going to change the world just by passing around links or making copies of videos and then sit there in our living room and watch them?
No.
Knowledge is useless without action behind it. And that's what we kept telling everybody. Make it out to OKC. Now, since that's
we can't tell you to do it if we're not going to do it ourselves.
Right. Now, on 9/11... this September 11th, we're traveling to New York City. We're going to start again next week with a big push to get everybody to make plans to make it up to New York City, to hold big signs up there. They raise their voices and say, we don't believe your lies. If the government sees hundreds of thousands of people in the street, then they start to say, something's going on. Do you care? Or do you think they care that people are sitting in their living rooms very passively watching Alex's videos? That's not changing anything. It's not doing anything.
Right.
We have to become active. And Alex Jones, in the months and months before the Oklahoma City Truth Rally, never said one word to promote that. Now, what kind of activism is that? But guess what he did spend hundreds of hours talking about? His videos, his overpriced T-shirts, his books, subscribing to his pay-per-view website. Now,
and not only on his show.
Yeah. Now, if you think we're the only ones talking about this, believe me, there's many, many other people in the mainstream or in the alternative media.
And we're printing all these feedback responses out.
Yeah, we're not going to put your names on them, of course. But what I was going to say was, there's a lot of people in the alternative media that are saying the same things to us privately that we're telling you right now. A lot of people are saying this stuff about Alex Jones. And then I had a conversation with someone a couple days ago, and he said, why don't you mention this on your show? Now, I want you to listen to what he said. He said, well, if I talk out about Alex Jones could call my boss and have me fired. Now, do you want Alex Jones to have that much power? And when you wonder why Rush Limbaugh or Wolf Blitzer or Bill O'Reilly don't talk about the truth on their shows, It's because they're afraid they're going to get fired.
Right.
Now, if someone in alternative media that hosts a show thinks that if they talk bad about Alex Jones, they're going to get fired.
Or question him.
Guess what? That makes Alex Jones, once again, the same as the mainstream media.
Right.
This stuff is very, very disturbing.
Got to preserve the moneymaker.
Yeah, this is disturbing, and Alex needs to answer for these questions. Now, there's two other things, real quick, before we leave. Why hasn't Alex ever spoken out once against Art Bell? Not once. Because the answer is he wants to be able to keep going on coast to coast.
He's not the only one.
And he's not the only one, so that he can sell his videos. And the last thing, why won't Alex ever speak about Zionism? Ever.
Right. And he's not the only one who won't do that either.
And who is he protecting by not doing so? Alex talks about the whole big New World Order, the Rosicrucians and the Bilderbergers.
And Bohemian Grove.
And Bohemian Grove and the Masons and so forth. But whenever anyone asks him about the Zionist influence, which is vitally important to this, Alex completely dismisses it and goes on to another subject. Who is he protecting?
I want to say one more thing, too. You may not agree with everything we say, and we don't expect you to. But you should at least defend our right to say it. That's what freedom of speech is all about.
And if you believe in freedom of speech, then you should be defending our right and everybody else's right to bring these things up. And do you think Alex Jones is above reproach? If you do, then never, ever question him.
Let me finish my thought.
Okay.
And whether or not we agree with everything you have to say, and we're getting a lot of feedback, and it's not all good.
No, it's not.
There's some pretty vicious ones in there, too. We defend your right to say those things, whether you agree with us or not. That's freedom of speech.
Exactly. So, one more time, we want to remind everybody, call Alex's show. Ask him these questions, and don't let him, well, if he hangs up on you, you don't have any recourse, but keep on him. Keep pushing him and say, Alex, answer these questions.
Right, and he's going to be guest hosting on other people's shows today, so he's going to be on, didn't he say, like 9 hours today?
Yeah.
So you got plenty of time to call and ask.
But he's on every day for 3 hours on his radio show. Call into his show, and don't tell the screener that you're going to ask him about, Wing TV or whatever. Just say you want to talk about the New World Order. And then when you get on, say, Alex, I want to ask you a question about Wing TV, Victor Thorne, Lisa Giuliani, 9/11 on trial, blah, 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 and don't let him sidestep the
Art
issues.
Bell has a bigger show than Alex Jones, and Art Bell answers his own phone.
Yeah, and Art Bell actually, talked about us on his show. So, I mean, Alex is even below Art Bell, and you know what, Lisa? We said it right before the show. We're very, very disappointed in Alex. He said he's always up for a good fight, that he's not afraid of anything.
And the bottom line is...
Why won't he answer
If we want our alternative press, our new media to be taken seriously, then we have to cover the news. We have to give the other side of the story. We have to be where the news is happening, or people aren't going to take it seriously. And he dropped the ball, and a lot of our alternative press dropped the ball with the OKC story. That's a national news story.
We have to be real, and we have to answer questions. So ask those questions to Alex Jones, and don't let him slip and slide.
Yeah, call him.